In a sleek Toronto courtroom, Judge Michael Harrington sat high above the floor of justice. His robes flowed with the gravity of law, and his face was known for its stern impartiality. A man of distinction in the legal community, Michael had spent 3 decades climbing the ranks, from a young defense attorney fresh out of Osgoode Hall Law School to one of the most respected judges on the Ontario Superior Court. On this particular spring morning, a routine immigration appeal landed before him. The case file read, Fatima Niarai versus Minister of Public Safety and Immigration. Claim, wrongful denial of refugee status country of origin. Zimbabwe. Fatima was a quiet, determined 22-year-old woman with sharp eyes and a resolute posture. She stood in court, representing herself with only a public interest lawyer providing support. Her claim was based on persecution, a politically volatile region, family ties to an opposition leader, and documented threats on her life. Michael, unmoved by emotion, combed through the case. He found inconsistencies, a missing form, a date that didn't match. As always, he relied on facts. And the law was clear. He ruled against her. Application denied. Deportation proceedings may continue. The gavel fell. Fatima didn't cry. She stood in silence, nodded, and left the courtroom. But something lingered in Michael's mind. Her eyes, dark and intelligent, looked hauntingly familiar. A whisper of something long buried stirred inside him. That evening, he dug into her file again. He reread the biographical data. Mother's name, Rujeko Nyarai. His heart skipped. Rujeko. He hadn't heard that name in over 2 decades. It was 2002 when Michael, a young legal advisor for a Canadian development project, spent 6 months in Harare. There, amidst government consultations and human rights workshops, he met Rujeko, a brilliant interpreter and political science student. Their connection was immediate and intense. For a few months, they were inseparable. But life and duty pulled him back to Canada. He wrote a few times, but the letters never returned. Eventually, he assumed she had moved on. He never knew she had been pregnant. Compelled by something deeper than duty, Michael requested an internal inquiry under the pretense of reviewing recent refugee denials. He reached out to a friend in immigration services. Quietly, he obtained a birth certificate. Father, unknown, but there was a note in the immigration file. Biological father believed to be Canadian citizen unnamed. His hands shook. Could it really be? DNA testing would confirm what the dates and fragments of memory already told him. Fatima was his daughter. The weight of his decision now pressed against his chest like a stone. He had condemned his own flesh and blood, his daughter, to return to a place of danger. Guilt swelled within him like a tide. But guilt was not justice, and the law didn't care for regrets. So Michael acted in the only way he could. He resigned. In his letter, he cited a conflict of personal interest affecting a prior ruling. He submitted a sworn affidavit to the Immigration Board, attesting to new information and requesting the case be reopened under humanitarian grounds. Weeks later, Fatima's deportation was halted. Her case was reheard. This time, she was granted permanent residency. When Michael finally met her again, not as judge and appellant, but as father and daughter, he stood nervously on the sidewalk outside her shelter in North York. She opened the door, staring at him with those same dark eyes. He started. Fatima, she held up a hand. No, she said. Unbon, they told me. There was a pause. Then, why didn't you look for me? He couldn't speak. She didn't hug him, not then. But she let him walk with her. And in silence, step by step, they began the long, uncertain journey towards something that might one day resemble forgiveness, or even family.